guys, welcome back. Okay, so I got tagged by my brother, Ed, USAF Ed, in a little thing that's going around. I think it was started by the Real Cobra Burnout. And I'm supposed to show you my most used knife, my latest purchase knife, and a budget knife. Well, when it comes to the most used knife, I have one that goes to work with me every day, and then I also have one that I wear every day when I'm not at work. So I don't know if I'm in the spirit of things, if I'm breaking the rules, but it's this the way it is. Both these knives get used every single day, except for they do two different things. The first one is my Kershaw Cyclone. I found out that they have actually discontinued this knife. It's got like a I think it's like a lock mechanism or something. I never use it. Liner lock, an assisted opening, very fast. It's one of those knives that it's kind of a pain in the butt to get an edge on it, but once you do, it stays there a long time. And even though I'm a big knife fan, I don't have all those little, those secret numbers all memorized as to what kind of steel it is. But yeah, they stopped making this. This was a gift from my very good friend Tardisius, and he said, I have something for you, and I'd really like it if it was something that got a lot of use. Well, my friend, as you can see, it gets a lot of use. It's a prying tool, it's a screwdriver, it's all sorts of things, but it's still very sharp. And even though it has been used for opening bags of cement and cutting into the ground and all sorts of terrible things, it still is a great functioning knife. I know everyone likes to point out the centering. I don't know if it ever centered right, but after what I've done to this poor thing, I'm surprised it even works. So the Kershaw Cyclone is my most used work knife. A knife that has pretty much been on me, as far as I call it, the dress knife, since the day that it was given to me, is the CRKT M16. This is probably also one of the most given knives that I send out, and it's probably because I love this knife so much that I want others to give her a try. The only thing that it has is this, now it's not a spring assisted, it's just a very smooth knife, but it has this dual lock, stupid lock thingy on it. You have to pull back with your thumb and then hit the liner lock, and then it'll close. And I've been told that lock mechanism qualifies to make this a fixed blade knife, so the good patriots in California can own this knife. So that is my most used, I call it a dress knife, and I got this from Big Jeff, Gun Wild 1. Then he wanted to know your most recent purchase. Is it dry in here, or is it just me? A little coffee beer. My most recent purchase. Okay, again, I'm going to cheat a little, and I'm going to break this up because I have the SOG Titan, another very fast opening knife. Just give this a little click, and it also has, what it has is this little button here. You pull that back and you can unlock it, otherwise it like auto locks on its own. And you can also flip this down, and then it won't open. It'll lock it closed. So evidently it can't by accidentally do that in your pocket. It is, if you're one of those guys where you say, well, I don't like this knife or I don't like that knife because it's too heavy, you'll really like this knife because it is a very, very light knife. It was a little on the pricey side, but I had ordered one of these for Jerry Blue Thunder 40's son, Frankie, and I liked, after goofing off with it, I liked it so much I ended up getting one for myself. And as you can see, perfect blade placement, and it also has the little cutter area there. So as far as a pocket knife, now on a fixed blade, my buddy Remy, Sharky 762, we were talking fixed blade knives, and he said you absolutely have to give this knife a look. I got it on GearBest for I think delivered was like $34, and of course the sheath, and it comes with the ferro rod and a little spot where they kind of like go ahead and scrape it right here spot on the back of the blade. Works really good. Nice Kydex holster. They put a little strip of something to sharpen it, but to be totally honest, anyone that knows anything about sharpening is probably going to avoid that unless you have no choice. But it's a very well made, feels good in your hand, has a solid end on it that could be used as a defensive tool, or good hard swing, and you could break a car window. And if you've ever tried breaking a car window, you realize that it's not as easy as it sounds. But for a $34 knife, I was very impressed with this. As a matter of fact, I was so impressed with it that after I opened this up and used it for a couple of weeks, I ordered another one just to have around, just in case. So, that is my latest purchase. Yeah, I know you guys have seen videos on some knives, but I went with things that I've actually purchased, not just knives that were sent to me, like a whole batch of them here that were from Eric over at Iraq Veteran 8888. And the last one he wanted to know about was a budget knife. Well, I think my buddy over at Gear Obsession did a video on this. This is actually a knockoff of a knife that sells for, it was more than $400. And it's kind of cool because it's got like this whole articulated thing when you open it. And then to close it, it's just kind of a funky design. It's not something that easily springs open. There's like a lot of energy involved in that, but once it's locked up, it doesn't want to close on you. And I just thought it was a very cool looking knife. And like I said, this is based on a knife, a knockoff of a knife that was, I don't remember if it was $399 or $400 and something. And it was like, oh my God, I don't, nothing against you if you can afford to be carrying a $400 pocket knife in your pocket. That's all cool and dandy, but that's not me. I have a hard time using knives that start to be $100 or more, because I'm like hard on all of my stuff. I know that's what she said. So this one, I believe shipped. Another one I got off of GearBest. Again, you know, it's like, what do you expect on some things? You know, it's like made in China. I know some people have freakouts about that, but you know what? Yeah, there's some decent companies that make knives here in the United States, but I tell you, this isn't one of them. Trust me, this isn't one of them. But there's a lot of really good companies that make some really nice knives, and I mean, it sucks that it's China, but you know, give me a break. When you can have knives that are made out of similar materials, and you can purchase one, you know, for $100 and the other one is $400, it's kind of a no-brainer. So it's almost like some of these companies just need to get with it and make it more competitive, because I'd rather everything I own said made in the USA. But this particular one I got on GearBest, and I want to say delivered to the house it was like $10. I think it was $6.80. They had a sale, $6.80, $6.80, and you know, it's fairly sharp. I mean, it would shave out of the box. I have no idea what the quality of the steel is, but I just thought it was kind of a cool looking knife, and for honestly, something like this for $6, I'm not exactly sure how you can go wrong. So there you go. Most used, Cyclone M16. Newest, Triton, fixed blade from, I don't even know if it's Rock or whatever they want to call it, but, and GearBest was from GearBest, and this one also from GearBest was my budget knife. So okay, and at this point I am expected to tag, I'm going to tag 3 people, and right off the bat, because I've held true to abusing the crap out of this knife that I got from Tardisius, I am tagging Tardisius to show me your 3 knives. And second, again, because I know he's up for it, Big Jeff, Gunwild1, show me your 3 knives. And last but definitely not least, you know, I know another guy who is an absolute freak when it comes to knives, so I want to see him answer this question, and that's John Solar 283. Show me your most used knife, your most recent purchase, and a budget knife. Okay, guys, thank you to Ed for tagging me, and the Real Cobra Burnout, I believe, for starting this. So cheers, guys, and we will talk to you later.